Today, in celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month, we will acknowledge the service and sacrifice of more than 60 Western New York Hispanic Vietnam veterans by presenting each with a pin and extending a long overdue welcome home that most never received when they returned stateside after the war. Featured on each pin is an eagle representing courage, honor, and dedicated service to our nation. A blue circle matching the canton on the American flag and signifying vigilance, perseverance, and justice. A laurel wreath representing victory, integrity, and strength. Stripes representing the American flag. 6 stars representing the 6 allies who served, sacrificed, and fought alongside one another. And the message: a grateful nation thanks and honors you. Decades ago, you put your lives on the line and returned to a nation that was certainly less than grateful. And while we can't undo the unjustified reception that you received years ago, what we can do is work today and each day forward to appropriately express the sincere appreciation you deserve for your commitment and selfless service to our good nation. Now we will proceed with the presentation of the lapel pins, formally welcoming each of you home with a lasting momentum from a grateful nation.
Richard N. Muñiz. Robert Hernandez. Ralph Hernandez. Jose Rivera. Joaquin Rodriguez. Ventura Colón. Lazaro Barajas. William J. Colondres. Edwin Sanchez. Benjamín de Jesús. José de Jesús. Carmelo López. Daniel Figueroa. Anthony Grasso. David Rivera. Miguel Roman Jr. D. Gus Gollado, or Gus. Jorge Reyes. Joseph Reyes. Dr. Hector Naval. Wilmer Olivencia. Luis Raúl Sierra. John John Sanabria. Benjamin Mata. Angelo Lamberti.
Can I clarify one point, please?
Yeah, okay. Angelo Lamberti is out of town and he asked me to pick up his pin in recognition. Thank you very much. Earlier you see me here, that was my brother who was in the Big One infantry. He got a Bronze Star and 2 Purple Hearts. And Lázaro Mejia, my brother, could not be here. However, his name is Mejia Barajas. We all are Mejia Barajas. And when he was in the military, they just kept Barajas. So I just came to pick up Angelo also, I'm sorry. I was in the 1st Cavalry Division in Korea.
Chino, there's one for you too.
Huh?
There's one for you too.
This one's the Maria. Yeah?
Yeah, there's one. We're gonna get that to you, but there's one for you.
Okay, thank you.
Israel Gonzalez. Hector Santiago. Eliseo Morales Jr. Julio Lozada. Dino Mejia. Roque Pizarro.
Now we're going to call up members of the deceased that we know of. If there are other people that we missed that you know of, that were Hispanic veterans for Vietnam, let us know, and we plan on having another ceremony later on. Pablo Martinez. Victor Sosa. Luis Feliciano. Johnny Ponce. Gabriel Rodriguez. Jesus Hernandez. Miguel Ángel Rivera. Okay, before I'm done, I'm going to say a few words because I know I'm going to have to come on later, but I'm not going to say it now. Very hard for me giving out them things to them deceased people because of I don't know about everybody here. I knew every one of them people, and I hung out with every one of them people, and I also knew every one of them people's family. So you know how difficult it is for me and some of the people that are here, Eddie Pizarro, Wilmer, and Ventura. That's hard for us because we go through a lot of things come in our heads. We get back and we go back, but it's very difficult when we think about these things. And I wanted to mention this here is also in collaboration with the Veterans Memorial Committee, are part of this group that put this together. And as everybody knows, we were supposed to have favors put in, but because of the person that does the favor is in the hospital, we're hoping to do everything by Veterans Day, the 11th of November, and hopefully we'll get whoever we missed. If we miss somebody, let us know because we want to make sure everybody gets that deserves it. And hopefully we'll do a ceremony that day, and if the congressman is around, we'll get him there if possible. So on that, I want to thank everybody for showing up, and the veterans, God bless us all because we really deserve it. Thank you.
Beautiful job. Now we'd like to take a moment to share the stories of two of these Vietnam veterans who both served as healthcare providers on the battlefield and here at home. Dr. Hector Nava, please join us at the podium. Hector Nava grew up in Mexico and earned his medical degree there in 1967. His healthcare career path took him to the United States, where he chose to utilize his medical training in the United States Army. He spent a year as a general medical officer in El Paso, Texas, before leaving to serve as chaplain, battalion surgeon in Vietnam. For his commendable work saving the lives of American soldiers in combat, Dr. Nava earned the Bronze Star. Upon returning stateside, he worked in hospitals in Niagara Falls and Buffalo before joining the team at Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Center. During his tenure at Roswell, Dr. Nava secured seven federal research grants and has been published in over 100 medical journals. He is credited with being the first clinician to publish work demonstrating the importance of a total colonoscopy in patients with colorectal cancer and pioneered a successful treatment for a condition that can lead to esophageal cancer. For his work as a surgeon oncologist, he received numerous recognitions, including being named to the Best Doctors in America list and a Lifetime Achievement Award from the American College of Surgeons. Today, it is our honor to recognize Dr. Nava with an extension of remarks entered into the congressional record for his service during the Vietnam War, his tireless pursuit of medical solutions, and the lasting impact he has had here in Western New York and throughout the nation in the healthcare field. Please join me in recognizing Dr. Naval. Next, we invite up United States Army Sergeant First Class John Anthony Acevedo. John grew up in Buffalo in a family with a deep commitment to military service, including relatives in the Buccaneers unit in World War II and Korea, and others who served in Vietnam and continue to serve today. Inspired by his family's commitment to military service, in 1989, John enlisted in the United States Army. He was assigned as a medic with the 299th Engineer Battalion. He quickly rose to the ranks to the position of Sergeant First Class with oversight responsibility of 120 other medics, earning him the nickname of Doc. Sergeant First Class Acevedo participated in 5 tours of duty in difficult and dangerous assignments, including missions in Egypt, Afghanistan, South Korea, Saudi Arabia, and Iraq. During Operation Iraqi Freedom, his unit came under fire. Doc grabbed his gear and medic bag and ran toward the explosion. He simultaneously searched for casualties while engaging in the counterattack, putting his own life in jeopardy, actions which earned him the Bronze Star. Following an incredible 26 years in the United States Army, he retired from military service in 2015 with a total of 28 medals and ribbons, including the Bronze Star, Meritorious Service Medal, Joint Service Commendation Medal, and the prestigious Combat Medical Badge. Today, he continues caring for men and women who serve as a member of the nursing team at the Buffalo VA Hospital and through his participation in many veterans organizations. It is a privilege to recognize Sergeant First Class Acevedo's unwavering commitment to his country and community, with a special extension of remarks entered into the congressional record and a flag that was flown over the United States Capitol to honor him.
Well, where do I start, huh? 26 years. It was a long, hard road, but I just don't want you guys to forget the commitments that these guys make. Okay? First, I want to thank all these Vietnam veterans here. They paved the way for me to be a success. Without them, I wouldn't be where I was at. Okay? They're the ones who taught us. They were my true mentors when I started off in 1989. They were still around. All the things that they learned, all the things that they endured, they made sure that we were set up for success. So please give them a big round of applause again. I also want to thank Congressman Higgins here for all that he does for veterans, both here as well as in Washington. He does so much for us, and we're greatly appreciated for all the work that he's done. I also want to thank each and every one of you, because without you guys and the love that I have for each and every one of you, again, I would not become a success. It's the love that I have for each one of you in this country that we have here that I did what I did. And I would do it all over again in a heartbeat. So anybody who knows me knows I live, bleed, and breed Army all the way. So thank you, you guys. I appreciate this honor, and I'm humbled to accept all of this from each and every one of you here today.
Thank you very much, John, and for your remarkable service to our country and the men and women who served this nation. Finally, allow me to recognize and welcome and bring up to my side here Kaz Rodriguez to join me for the next presentation, along with his brother. Born in Puerto Rico in 1948 to parents Petra and Primo Tivo Rodriguez, Gabriel Rodriguez, the brother of Kaz Rodriguez, was the fifth of 13 children. The family moved to Buffalo in search of a better life, which his father was able to provide through his work at Bethlehem Steel. Gabe left school early and found work to help support the family at the Ford plant before being called to service in the United States Army. Gabe served in the 25th Infantry Division during the Vietnam War, exposed to the horrors that came with battle. Upon his discharge, he returned to work at Ford and continued with service to his country as a member of the New York State National Guard, all the while suffering from severe post-traumatic stress disorder. On November 20th, 1981, Gabe passed away seeking peace from the trauma associated with war. In 1986, a local group of Hispanic American veterans chartered the Gabriel A. Rodriguez American Legion Post 1928, creating a place where those who served in the military could seek comfort and community. Hispanic Heritage Council President of Western New York, the President Kaz Rodriguez, recently contacted my office for assistance in obtaining a full set of medals his brother Gabe Rodriguez earned while serving during Vietnam. We reached out to the United States Army on the family's behalf and received those medals this week. As we present these medals, we acknowledge the great sacrifices our military families make and recognize the concealed wounds of war Gabe and others in the military endured. Today, we recognize United States Army Specialist Gabriel Rodriguez's life and service with the presentation of the following medals he earned 50 years ago. The National Defense Service Medal awarded for honorable active duty service between January 1961 and August 1974. The Vietnam Service Medal for service in Vietnam, Thailand, Laos, and Cambodia between 1965 and 1973. A sharpshooter badge with rifle bar awarded for completion of a weapons qualification course and skill in the use of a rifle. Gabe was also entitled to the Republic of Vietnam campaign ribbon with device awarded to United States Armed Forces personnel by the government of the Republic of Vietnam for 6 months of service in Vietnam during the period of March 1961 to March of 1973. Finally, we have a flag that flew over the United States Capitol building in Washington, D.C. in recognition of the supreme sacrifices Gabe Rodriguez made in service to this country. Yes?
Good afternoon. Heroes aren't born, they're made. Ask any hero that we call a hero that you're a hero. He'll say, I was only responding, and acting to what was necessary at the time. It's a privilege and it's an honor to accept this on behalf of my brother Gabriel Rodriguez. God bless all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Congressman Higgins. Before I introduce our next speaker, I'd like to personally and as a community thank Congressman Higgins for all he does for veterans and for all he does for our community. There's not a call that's made to his office that doesn't have a quick and rapid response. Whether it be recognizing the veterans here today, whether it was several years ago when I called them to support the congressional and co-sponsor the Congressional Gold Medal for the 65th Infantry Regiment, the Borinqueniers. He was there. He was a co-sponsor to that legislation. And he was one of the first congressmen, or the first congressman in New York State to sign up. Thank you very much, Congressman. This month, every year, Hispanic Heritage Month committee, the national committee comes up with a theme. This year's theme is Hispanic Americans, a history of serving our nation. What more fitting set of words than what we're experiencing here today, where we honor each and every one of our veterans that fought in the Vietnam War or were affiliated with that era. We owe a debt of gratitude to each and every one of you for your service, for your sacrifice, and for your honor. And I join our president of the Naval Park and our chairman of the Naval Park, along with our congressman, to welcoming you home and recognizing you on this day. I want to acknowledge, before I present the next speaker, a representative from the Erie County Executive, Mark Poloncarz, that's with us today, Jonathan Rivera. Jonathan, thank you very much for being here. A representative from State Senator Tim Kennedy, Palmira Ortiz. Thank you very much, Palmira, for being here today. And a special thanks to all the veterans, the families, and the Hispanic American Veterans Memorial Committee that helped put this event together. The president, Ventura Colon, which is recovering from surgery, give him my regards and our speed recovery. And the vice president, John Sanabra. Also in our midst is the president of the Latino Veterans, Jose Pizarro. Jose, thank you very much for being here. To the Naval Park, the Military Park, our chairman of the board, Terry McGuire. Thank you very much, Terry, for hosting this event. And our president and CEO, Paul Marzello. Thank you very much, Paul. Rachel Buckley and staff. Thank you very much, Rachel, for all your help and support putting this together. And last but not least, Congressman Higgins' office and staff, Walt Cook. Walt, thank you very much for all your support. And Teresa Kennedy, thank you
very much for your support. Like your leader, you're there to serve. Thank you very much. And last but not least, our Hispanic Heritage Council Board of Directors. I think there's some of them here. Thank you very much. I received a call last week from a gentleman by the name of David Rivera, not the councilman. He's an Air Force veteran. He served during the Vietnam era. Served in the United States Air Force, 1975 to 1977. His assignment was EOD, bomb disposal, and he's worked numerous jobs, New York City Transit Authority and United States Postal Service. He's been a past deacon, and he's the husband of Ms. Damaris Diaz Rivera, that's also here today. He asked me, can he have an opportunity to share some reflections on the 65th Infantry Regiment, the Borinqueniers, and I said, absolutely. That's what this is all about, recognizing our veterans. With that, I present David Rivera.
Thank you, Casimiro, for the opportunity to present this report on the trailblazers who came before me in honor and have me receive the honor that I received today, and all the other veterans that received an honor today. The trailblazers were the 65th Regiment, otherwise known as the Borinqueniers. Their motto is Honor et Fidelitas, which means honor and fidelity. The Army Appropriation Bill of March 2nd, 1899, authorized the first body of native troops in Puerto Rico. On June 30th, 1901, the Puerto Rico Provisional Regiment of Infantry was organized. 7 years later, the regiment was incorporated into the regular Army as the Puerto Rican Regiment of Infantry, U.S. Army. On August 27, 1950, the 65th Infantry departed Puerto Rico and arrived in Busan, Korea on September 23rd of the same year. The men of the 65th were attached to the Army's 3rd Infantry Division and were among the first infantrymen to meet the enemy on the battlefields of Korea. After November 1950, they fought daily against the units of the Chinese People's Liberation Army after the Chinese entered the war on the North Korean side. One of the hardships suffered by the Borinqueniers was lack of warm clothing during the cold, harsh winters. Born in a semi-tropical climate, most of them had never seen snow. They lived and fought through it all without complaint. The enemy made many attempts to encircle the regiment, but they failed each time because of the Borinqueniers, the casualties inflicted by the 65th. The 65th held their positions, and the United States Marines were able to withdraw from the Chosin Reservoir in December 1950. When the Marines were surrounded by the Chinese Communist troops close to the Manchurian border, the Marines were ordered to retreat and work their way back to Hungnam. The men of the 65th rushed to their defense and were ordered to stay behind and fight the enemy. As a result, the Marines were able to withdraw to their ships on the 65th, holding the rear guard. On February 12, 1951, General Douglas MacArthur wrote in Tokyo, and I quote, "The Puerto Ricans forming the ranks of the gallant 65th Infantry give daily proof on the battlefields of Korea of their courage, determination, and resolute will to victory, their invincible loyalty to the United States, and their fervent devotion to these immutable principles of human relations which the Americans of the continent and of Puerto Rico have in common. They are writing a brilliant record of heroism in battle and I am indeed proud to have them under my command. I wish that we can count on many more like them. End of quote. Among the citations and the awards received by the 65th Regiment was 1 Medal of Honor, 10 Distinguished Service Crosses, 256 Silver Stars, 606 Bronze Stars, and 2,771 Purple Hearts. And on June 14th, President Barack Obama awarded the Congressional Gold Medal to the men of the 65th Infantry Regiment. They also have been awarded 50 medals for their courage and valor in battle. To the men of the 65th Infantry Regiment, we owe a debt of gratitude for fighting for freedom around the world. God bless the 65th Infantry Regiment.
Thank you. Thank you very much, David. Very enlightening story and facts. As a proud member of the Buffalo and Naval Military Park Board of Directors, I'd like to invite you at your leisure, visit the Korean War Museum, where they have a very proud display of the 65th Infantry Regiment, the Borinqueniers. It's located in the museum. Information there, and there'll be more information added. This is going to conclude our program, but before I conclude the program, following by some refreshments and some music, I'd like to ask everyone to stand up and let's reflect on 1 minute of silence for all those Vietnam veterans that did not make it back, and for those that did make it back and are no longer with us for any reason or the other. We owe a debt of gratitude to each and every one of them. With that, a minute of silence, please. Thank you. That concludes my part. I'll turn it over to our CEO and President, Paul Marzullo.
To conclude the ceremony, I'm going to bring back Master Sergeant Dugan to retire the colors.
Colors, halt! Ready, raise! Request permission to retire the colors.
Retire the colors.
Halt! Present, halt! Order, arm!